know what you're thinking. Where's the sombrero? It's a good question. It's a valid question. And I'll answer the question. No sun, no sombrero. It's kind of like, no justice, no peace. No sun, no sombrero. Get used to it. But that's not why I'm here to talk to you. Why I'm here to talk to you right now is to show you the remarkable water storage attributes of Bucharnia. Come on, Gary. Recurvata, the ponytail palm. Recurvata means recurved, and these are recurved right here, as opposed to stricta, which is upright, and that's Bucharnia stricta. That's even my more favorite one than this. But this is also one of my favorites. There's a bunch of different Bucharnias, actually. Those are probably the two most common you see in horticulture. And there's other people who like Bucharnias too. Here's one right here. Mr. Rolypoly. He's wondering, like, what's going on with my home, bro? I'm sorry, man. Here, you know what? Let's just get you off of here. You're probably really freaking out right now. Come on. You're supposed to roll up. Roll. I'll get him later. Don't worry. I'm not gonna hurt him. Oh no. He just fell. If that were a human, look at this. This is how far he fell. That would be like falling like 100 feet, and he's okay. I'm gonna scoop you up, bro. Come on, let's roll you up here where I can grab you, and let's take you over here. Let's take you over here where you'll have no problem, no tractor, no Gary walking around. You'll be fine. Pretty intriguing. Watch him open up. It's gonna take a second. Maybe a couple seconds. Come on. You need to roll over? Come on, you can do it. This can't be the first time you ended up on your back. This happens to our tortoises sometimes. Sometimes they get frisky out there and they try to, for lack of a better term, mount each other. And sometimes it causes a flip. And we'll show up and you'll see a turtle upside down just patiently waiting for somebody to flip the poor guy over again. So usually it's the one on top that gets flipped. The one on the bottom is kind of like pretty stable. So let that be known, people. You get a little too aggressive, you might get flipped. Come on. It's a very delicate process because come on, there. I think he's a little stunned from his 400-foot fall. It's like jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge and, surviving. Is he going to walk away? Yep, he's going to walk away, everybody. Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it for that's a survivor right there. Let's hear it for the roly-poly. All right, back to the point. I'm sorry to waste your time like this. It's just what I do. Okay, Bucharnia, recurvata, the ponytail palm. It's native to southern North America and very arid regions. Because it's from arid regions, it had to figure out a way to deal with the drought. And did you guys hear there's a drought right now? I talk about water conservation all the time, man. It shouldn't be anything new. Everybody should be doing it all the time. All these palms are unbelievably drought tolerant once established. Pretty much everything I grow is drought tolerant. But especially this. If you're worried about the drought and you're like, I can't plant a plant because it's the drought, this is your plant right here. We got to call Gavin Newsom up and say, hey, man, next time you tell everybody there's a drought, put a link to my video. This is what you want. So anyway, this plant, how does it deal with drought? Well, one, it has really narrow leaflets, and they really don't have a lot of capacity to lose a lot of moisture out of them because they're sort of closed. They're not like shiny. They sort of reflect the sun a little bit. But the most important adaptation for this guy is this big swollen base. It's just quite remarkable. I mean, you know, it's I thought I had a little bump on my belly, but this thing makes me look skinny. So all the moisture gets stored in that trunk, and it can sit all summer long. You can take this plant, put it out on your pool deck where you don't have any irrigation, in a big pot with almost no soil. Look, so it only really needs soil about here. Look, those are the roots. There's very few. All they need to do is just take it up enough water and dump it into the core when there's lots of rainfall in the winter, and it lives on that all summer long. And it doesn't look like it's a, it's not like a cactusy looking thing. It's pretty lush looking. It's dark green. It's like a big, beautiful grass. It's like a grass tree that you don't need to water. I mean, this plant here, if you plant this plant in your garden, you would not need to water this at all, ever. It'd probably like it if you did. It'd probably grow a little better, be a little happier, but you could plant this plant right now, bury it up to there, not do another thing, and it's June. It won't rain for another 6 months. Oh, no, probably about 5 months, I guess. It won't rain appreciably until November, December. But when it does, it'll have lived on its internal storage capacity up until then with no ill effect to the plant. And then it'll take up water from the rains and store it back in there. So this is probably the most drought tolerant plant I can think of that's tropical and exotic looking. Whole idea is you don't really want to give up your tropical lush look. You want it all to be an illusion. A lot of these tropical plants, they deal with dry seasons. It's not like it rains all the time in these places. There's all these plants around here you see here. They're all drought tolerant. We've got salvias. We've got this, oh gosh, that plant from South Africa. Here's another South Africa guy. The red bottle brush. I mean, this is super lush looking, but it's ultra drought tolerant. Butia capitata, silver palm from South America. It's built up drought tolerance from, its silver foliage reflecting the sun and also building up a big trunk storage moisture. All these palms, these big palms here, I just moved them here yesterday. They were completely bare root. They were dry as a bone, okay? Why is that not a problem temporarily for a palm? Because a palm is like a camel. Camel can drink an unbelievable amount of water, but then it can just go for a long time. It can walk all the way across the desert without having to refuel. Same thing with these palms here. I pulled them out and they were bone dry. They had little root balls on them, stuck them in here. Now all these roots are contacting the soil. I'll put some more soil up here. They'll just shoot all these roots out, and then they'll sense all this moisture, and they'll take it all up. But a lot of things, if you do that to them, you just yank them out of the ground, the whole thing will just immediately die because you just can't handle it. But this thing has a whole bunch of moisture inside the trunk, just like this Bucarnia. So that's why even though palms look lush and tropical, they're actually very drought tolerant. These do need more water, though. Don't get me wrong on this one. Can't put this on your patio and walk away. This one, when you have a plant in a pot, the water drains away a lot faster, so you need more moisture typically for potted plants than stuff in the ground. The ground is always harboring, moisture much longer than the pots. And so pots are particularly more difficult to keep alive, as you can see way over there across the pool. And I'll take you there right now. They're flying in there. Right there, that's plumeria, big cactus, and a whole bunch of succulents in that pot. And those are really drought-tolerant plants. All my pots are always full with the most drought-tolerant plants. But Bucarnia recurvata, ponytail palm, if you want to go ultra drought tolerant, you don't ever have to want to water a plant ever again. Or if you don't have drip lines leading to where you want to put your pots, I'll show you what I mean by that, on your patio, then if you're smart, when you lay your patio, you'll lay drip lines underneath it to where you want your pots. Now, what I've done here when I put this irrigation system in here, so here I made a tap point right here. And this is a irrigation tap point for, pots. If I thought I wanted some pots in this corner, but now I've kind of changed my mind because I'm going to put a boulders in there and a whole bunch of really beautiful, colorful succulents, such as that crassula and this dudleya, and a bunch of boulders through here. So I think I don't want to interrupt the view with pots. It's going to be ultra beautiful. But yeah, if you want to plant pots on your patio, you really should plan how they're going to get watered automatically, because they're such a hassle to keep alive unless you plant the most drought tolerant plants, and even then they like water. But if you don't have the ability to get water there automatically, this is your plant right here. So that's it, Ponytail Palm. They can get really big, really huge. In pots, they get dwarfed. The whole sculptural aspect of the trunk is quite remarkable. And not only is it sculptural, but it's magical and it's functional. So there you go. And I'm going to plant that in this pot here. And if you like, you'll be able to buy that plant someday from me at the nursery in Richmond. And that's all I know.